Back at it like we never left. You know what it is. It's the SNF podcast. Shout out to everybody listening, no matter where you listening from. If you're listening on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio. You can be listening to anything you want because it is the internet. You can actually point, click, and do whatever the hell you want. But you're rocking with the SNF podcast, and I appreciate that. I'm flying solo today. I'm actually in a remote location, ducked off in my little cave, in my little hideout, doing my podcast today. If you don't know, my name is Shaheed, by the way. You can listen to the SNF podcast every Tuesday. If you're on the West Coast, you can start your morning with me at 9 a.m. If you're on the East Coast, take us with you for your lunch break at 12 p.m. It's the SNF podcast. Make sure that you follow, rate, like, and subscribe. I've been looking at my numbers. I'm not liking my numbers. I know people is out there feeling the podcast, but I'm not liking my numbers. I'm going to need y'all to like it, follow it, rate it, subscribe to it, and comment on it too. I don't care if you say it's trash. I want you to say that it's trash. It makes me be better. So like, follow, rate, comment, and subscribe. You can always follow the show on the SNF Podcast on Instagram and Twitter at SNF Podcast. On Facebook, Shaheed and Friends Podcast. That's how you can always follow the show. So something disturbed me over the week, and I kind of wish I had the friends around to speak on it with me, but I think I can hold this topic down by myself. So let's just get into it. Normally, I like to rant about something, but this particular episode of the SNF podcast is about to be a straight rant. And I'm going to rant against my contemporaries in the media. Because something disturbed me last week, and I'm looking at the report and taking it on face value like, dang, that's messed up. But then an hour or two, maybe 3 hours later, I'm being facetious, the story's not true. And I'm talking about Chris Brown. You chick, you know what? Let me not go there yet. I will go there. I'm definitely gonna go there, but I'm not gonna go there yet. So again, we don't report the news here. You know, if you want to, I don't even want to say that. Normally, I always say that I don't report the news. If you want to get news reported to you, go to certain websites and certain, brands and companies and things like that, media outlets. But I'm actually about to start war with all of them because of what they did with Chris Brown. Now, I guess as a caveat, I'll go back and just say or tell you what happened, but not in full detail. Chris Brown was in Paris. He got accused of rape. And a couple hours later, he wasn't accused of rape and was let go. That sounds like something simple. Somebody was tripping, lied, and that's what it was. But what pissed me off about it was, how is all of you media outlets? Now, the thing is that the media has a responsibility to tell the truth and provide information. Not half-truths, not half bits of information. You're supposed to tell all of the information. And if you don't have all of the information, you don't put it out there. My thing with my contemporaries is that in this social media age, everybody wants to be first. Everybody wants to hear something and be like, hey, I'm the first person who did it. Check my clicks. I'm the first person who posted this story. I was the first person that's there. That's all good if you're right. Like, if you're wrong, I mean, come on now. Like, you can't be putting out stories on people and not have the full story. This is where I blame women. The Me Too movement, all of that. All you hoes ain't victims. Stop it. Cut it out. I'm tired of hearing it. All of y'all are not freaking victims. And because society wants to paint women as victims all the freaking time, stories like what happened to Chris Brown is always going to happen. Somebody is going to accuse a man of rape. The man gets arrested and goes to jail. stuff happens in between time, either truths come out or whatever, the guys let go if, the woman lied. The thing that my contemporaries in the media and women who falsely accuse men of such actions is that there's never a good retraction story. Like, do y'all know what the story was when Chris Brown was not found, was basically told that, hey, he didn't rape anybody? Chris Brown released from jail. Hold on, let me actually read it. Because I actually want to quote this. I want to quote how stupid my contemporaries are. I'm going to start with CNN first. Because at first, I didn't think that they was going to get in on the party. Oh, but they did. Let me just go ahead and hit up Google real quick. That was funny that I just Google searched that. Okay. So this is how the article, I'm not reading the article. I'm just reading the headline. Chris Brown arrest, the latest in troubled history. Okay. So the way CNN just presented that article is Chris Brown got into something and he has a history of getting into something. Okay. Couple hours later, Chris Brown released in Paris with no charges after rape allegations. That's it. Like, I mean, the story has other little stuff with it too. But my point is that you have big media brands that are doing this. The story has no substance at all. It's basically, if you just read I forgot what the heck I just called it. If you just read the title, the headline, you pretty much get the in these particular instances, that's the gist of the story. I don't have to click to read it. Oh, Chris Brown got in trouble. Chris Brown got released from trouble. Nothing happened. And that's why I said that the retraction is never good as the original story. Because the original story makes it sound so grandiose, but nothing in it. But then you say, oh, yeah, that didn't really happen, guys. Sorry. And keep it moving. No apologies or nothing. But I can't go to war with CNN. I mean, I would love to, but I can't. I don't have the resources to go to war with CNN. So I think I'm going to target somebody or some entity that I can go to war with that did the same thing. Let me go back into my Google bag real quick. And again, you're listening to the SNF podcast. I keep forgetting that there's nobody around me, so nobody else is going to talk. So I'll just do my shameless plugs. You're listening to the SNF podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, and TuneIn Radio. You can always follow the show at SNF Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, Shaheed and Friends on Facebook. Don't forget to like, follow, rate, and subscribe to all of the content. I got some videos out too, a couple of music videos for some artists, so definitely go to the page, subscribe, and like the content. Okay, so this is who I kind of want to go to war with, and as far as a war, words of war content. Entities and companies and social media sites like the Jasmine Brand, for example, right? So this is how they titled the Chris Brown, incident allegedly. Chris Brown being investigated over rape allegations in Paris. Okay, now great. They used the word allegations. That's great. But guess what? Nobody's going to see allegations. This is how people are going to read that. They're going to read it like they can't pronounce allegations. Chris Brown being investigated over rape in Paris. You're just going to skip the allegations part because allegations and rape doesn't sound well. You might as well just say rape. So that's pretty much what they did. Okay. So a couple hours, the retraction story. Chris Brown. Model says she didn't accuse singer of rape being targeted. Okay. Now, if you don't know, the Jasmine Brand is a very good self-made media outlet. A lot of content creators would love to be able to have the opportunity and the ability to create such a dynamic brand, a dynamic media company. Because if you follow them on Instagram and Twitter, but mainly Instagram, they normally, hit you with a lot of stories. But now that I'm looking at the Chris Brown thing, and they're not the only ones. I mean, I can go to Hollywood Unlocked. I can go to Shade Room. I can go to Baller Alert. I can go to war with all of you. The media and my contemporaries, we have to stop the bullshit. I'm sorry. Like, we know that we're in an era and a time where information can just go out with no accountability. There's nobody fact checking. There's nobody proofreading. And I know I'm sounding like an old fossil when it comes to this, but that's what the media is all about. When people turn on a TV or turn on a radio or obviously a smartphone, a computer, they're on Twitter, they're on Instagram, and they're seeing stories, people want to hear the truth. They don't want to hear half truths and all lies. If that's the case, go pick up the freaking National Enquirer, pick up the Sun. If y'all don't know what those magazines are, they're basically social media before social media on a piece of paper. Go to the front of your grocery store and you'll see those papers. The ones where it says like, basically it's like a crazy subtitle, or crazy, front page. Elvis sighting. That's how they used to say them back in the day. Elvis was sighted in Mississippi or in Memphis. Doggone JFK, we know who the real killer is. Little dumb stuff like that is not true, but it's compelling entertainment. That's what the Jasmine Brand done with that story. That's what Hollywood Unlocked did with that story. Everybody just went straight tabloids on Chris Brown. Why? Because he's interesting, compelling content. Just like R. Kelly. R. Kelly is compelling content now, but we're not going to get into that. I want to thank everybody who listened to the episode last week with my dude Trevor Lucas, G4, and the sound guy. You know what I'm saying? I already told you guys the sound guy doesn't need any introduction. The sound guy just pretty much pops up and appears anytime that he pretty much wants to. But I'm in an isolated location, so the sound guy will not pop up. But do want to give a special shout out to them for being on the podcast last week. But when I look at this stuff, I'm just like, yo, come on. Like, and the thing is, there was let's just give it a round number. Let's say it was a 5-hour window, right? So from the time that people said Chris Brown's arrested in Paris over rape allegations to the time that Chris Brown is released from jail with no rape charges, that 5-hour window, if you was a guy and you defended Chris Brown, these hoes tried to rake you through the coals. They tried to drag you through the mud. Why are you defending Chris Brown? What are you trying to say? That's not cool. That's why I don't like you dudes. Y'all ain't got no respect for women. No, that's not the case. Well, that's some of the case, but it's really towards stupid women that we don't have respect for. Lying women, we don't have respect for. So how do you expect us to have respect for women? Now, let me backtrack that for a second. Men ain't the brightest bulbs in Vegas. We're not the sharpest knives in the drawer either at times, but we're rational. That's the one thing that I always have a debate with my women friends and, podcast members and things like that. For the simple fact that men are rational and women are irrational, more emotional than rational. I always get flack for saying this, but I think that's why women, y'all need to let the thinking come to the men, because we're going to take the emotion out of it. This is a prime example. Woman's emotion of hearing or reading about Chris Brown and rape allegations, y'all go back to Rihanna, which that was messed up. I mean, we're not gonna rehash that. We all know that was messed up. I mean, he beat the brakes off of Rihanna, and she was bad. Rihanna has a mouth on her, but again, I digress. We're not talking about that. My point in saying all of that is that when women saw the Chris Brown story, most of you went to that nigga must burn. Why? Because we just been talking about R. Kelly 2 weeks prior. So it's like, okay, you got R&B, you got R. Kelly. Now we got Chris Brown. So we're still in the same R&B territory. I'm telling you, I'm beginning to think R&B stands for raping bitches, man. But I digress. That's if Chris Brown would have done it, but he didn't. But it's just a good joke to say. R&B, raping bitches. Sing a song, whatever. Let's keep it moving. Women saw this story and basically, for the most part, crucified Chris Brown. If you forgave Chris Brown for what he did to Rihanna, you wasn't going to let this slide. So that is what it is. But how did you women feel when Chris Brown was found that he didn't rape anybody? I really want to know how y'all conversations went. Did y'all go, ooh, our bad, we love you, Chris? Like, how did that go? Because y'all tried to burn this man that didn't do anything. Chris Brown had just finished signing a deal where he owns all of his masters, something that nobody in this modern era as an active artist is doing. Now, you got your older artists who owns their, masters and stuff, but we're talking about active artists right now. Chris Brown's the only one that owns all of his masters. And then you want to come out with a rape story? That's not even true? That's allegations? That's not real? Get the fuck out of here, man. I swear, like, y'all are so, and I say y'all because you, all of you people, your Jasmine, your writers for the Jasmine Brand, your writers for Hollywood Unlocked, your writers for Ball and Brand, all you motherfuckers, man. What is wrong with y'all? Like, this is how I see it, right? I'm beginning to think that the people who work at, again, the Jasmine Brand, Hollywood Unlocked, and all these other media smaller media outlets, not CNN. We can't go to war with CNN. We can't go to war with NBC. We can't go to war with Fox News. Not right now. We can't do it. SMG ain't about that right now. We can't go to war with them yet. It's like basically, if you're a big bully, you're not going to fight a bigger bully. You're going to fight a smaller person. Or somebody that you think that you can push over and push around. So you're not going to go for the big bully. Normally where I'm from, you hit the biggest person in the mouth and, send a message. Unfortunately, I don't have the manpower to, shoot a shot at CNN. But Jasmine Brand, Hollywood Unlocked, Baller Alert, Shade Room, all you have, I don't even know what word I was going to say. It was going to be a combination of has-beens and half-asses and a whole bunch of other stuff. I couldn't get the word out. So, all you cats, I'm talking to you. Did any of y'all go to college, and get a journalism degree or anything like that? I know I did. I got my journalism, mass communications, broadcasting degree from Virginia State. I know about media responsibility. And what all of you brands did, companies and social media sites did, y'all had no responsibility in what the hell y'all was doing. There is no excuse why you put out a story and you didn't do any research. How are you going to put out a rape story and don't even say who got raped? Who's the person who got raped? Now, some people will say, well, you want to be sensitive to the victim and all of that. No, you don't, because the victim is probably going to do a rollout like all of the so-called R. Kelly victims. Oh, now we're not protecting them. Now it's a rollout. Get the fuck out of here, man. Like, straight like that. Time for me to do another shameless plug. You listen to the SNF podcast on YouTube, SoundCloud, iTunes, Spotify, TuneIn Radio. You can always follow the show at SNF Podcast on Instagram and Twitter, Shaheed and Friends on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's basically everywhere I just said where our social medias is. You can find the link to the SNF Podcast YouTube channel where all of the episodes are there, along with a couple of exclusive music videos from some local artists that are trying to do their thing. We try to support everybody on the SNF podcast. So again, like, follow, rate, and subscribe. We'll love to, hear from you and know what you guys got going on. So again, did any of you guys have a journalism degree? Because you would know that if you're gonna put a story out there like that, you damn near better be right. Because I'm gonna say back in the day, but this was way back before my day, but it's still back in the day. If you worked at a newspaper and you convince your editor to let you write a story, you'd be like, yeah, I got all the facts, we're good, this is a solid story. You print the story, and then you find out that it didn't happen, and you gotta do a retraction. That's embarrassing to newspapers and media outlets. That's totally embarrassing, because it makes you look like, yo, did you not do any research? You just basically put out a story. And that's what y'all did to Chris Brown. Y'all did that to Chris Brown. We all know that in this Me Too movement and society, any man doing anything negative against a woman is going to be magnified unrelentlessly. But y'all still put out a story saying that Chris Brown is locked up or in custody for allegedly raping somebody. Because I told you, people is just going to move past the alleged. They don't care about alleged. They don't give a damn. All they going to see is rape. Chris Brown, jail, rape. That's it. Everything else in between does not matter at that point. I just want to know, do y'all do research? Look, I'm going to make sure that I tag the Jasmine Brand and Baller Alert, Shade Room, Hollywood Unlocked. I'm going to make sure I tag all of you in this, because I really want to genuinely know. Do you guys do research? Like, do you guys do investigating before you put your stories out? Because I'm beginning to think that those entities that I've mentioned earlier, I'm tired of giving them plugs, so I'm not going to do that no more. I gave them enough. That y'all probably look at big sites like CNN, like MSNBC, maybe BET. BET. They used to be a big brand, now they trash. Anyway. And y'all do a story off that, because if you read the articles that they put out, they're small, like they're not detailed at all. Like, you know what? I'm not even gonna read it. I was gonna just read just to let you know how short these articles are, but I'm not about to do that. I can't do that. But what I can do though is just send a message to my media contemporaries, because we have a powerful voice and a powerful instrument called media. We have microphones. We have cameras. We have obviously social media, because everyone has social media, which means everybody has microphones and cameras. My point in saying all of that is that we have a responsibility to provide stories that are true and accurate. Now, you want to say, well, it was accurate. Chris Brown was arrested for allegations of rape. That's true. The one thing that I always tell people is that just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean you have to do it. Okay, yeah, Chris Brown was arrested for allegations of rape, right? That's true. That happened. So if you was to say that is true. That did happen. But you have to go deeper. Because just putting out that truth isn't a full truth. It could be a half lie, but not a full truth. Because, yeah, it happened. Chris Brown was arrested allegedly. Well, he was arrested for allegedly raping somebody. But nobody knows the person who it was. Because obviously you have to know who the person was, because the person had to file a police report, which I'm assuming most of you individual social media media outlets I hope y'all tried to get the police report. I hope you guys did. If none of you guys tried to get the police report or have a copy of it, y'all are trash. Y'all need to delete y'all social medias. Y'all need to delete y'all websites. Y'all need to turn off y'all microphones and shut the hell up. Go home. Get out of here. $2. Because what are y'all doing? Like, again, the media has a very powerful instrument. We can influence and we can discourage. And what this Chris Brown story was just discouraging, and it was disrespectful. It was egregious, and it was to the levels of idiocy that I've never seen before. I've never seen a story said and then retracted in the same like couple hours. Now, I have a personal story about media irresponsibility. Well, you know what? Let's just put it out there because they try to burn me, so I'm gonna burn them. Most of you know that I was a weekend host, number one weekend host in Richmond. I was the best. Everybody will tell you that, except for the new program director at the time, pussy ass nigga Yanni. Yeah, I'm gonna say that on my platform because I can do that, bitch ass nigga. So anyway, let's get to the meat and potatoes. So this is another example of a personal experience of media irresponsibility. When I left iPower Richmond, and this was the summer, not of last year, of the year before. So I would say this would be summer 17. I was moving to Atlanta because there was opportunity in Atlanta. I had like a regular job in Atlanta because I lost my collections call center job in Richmond. So I'm like, damn, I ain't got a regular full-time job. All I got is this bullshit ass radio station job that's paying me, what was I getting paid, like $8.25 an hour or something? $8.25, $8.35. I know I had like a 10-cent raise in like a year. I'm a radio personality making $8 an hour. People at Cookout was making more money than that. People at McDonald's was making more than that. I seen people at McDonald's making $9. You paying me $8.30. Get the fuck out of here. So when our midday host at the time, Paris Nicole, shout out to her, know what I'm saying, real good peoples, unless she's saying something greasy about me, then fuck that bitch. She moved on to Philly, doing her thing in Philly. She's doing real good things in Philly. I'm proud of what she's doing. You know what I'm saying? She went to a big market and she's living it up and doing her thing. I love it. I love it. That's what we all aspire to do, and what I was going to do, which I'll tell you that in my story. So the way that I looked at it was, okay, great. She's leaving. Not great she's leaving, but there's an opening. A spot that I've done before. I'm experienced at. I've done middays at several other stations. Y'all know where I've been. Oh, this is just God's plan. This is just ironic. It's God's plan. It's divine intervention. Go through the interview process. Everything is all good. Like I'm a lock. Like there's no excuse of why I wouldn't be given that full-time opportunity. I've been there for a while. The city loved me. I made things happen. And I had support from the city. I had support from people in the streets. And I don't mean the streets like the gun streets, but, you know, individuals, the fans, the listeners. Let's just say that. I had support from the fans and the listeners. They would have loved for me to be the midday guy. Bring the at-work network to Richmond and get it lit. Make a long story short, I didn't get the position. He gave the position to some random unknown person from somewhere else. We don't even know who she is or where she's from. She just popped up like, hey, I'm here. I'm like, who? Okay, whatever. So I put in my 2 weeks notice because I'm like, okay, well, look, I can't sit here making $8.30. I have a job in Atlanta. It was a regular call center job. You know what I'm saying? Nothing too crazy. You know, I asked to be transferred to the station, the company in Atlanta. They didn't want to do that whatsoever. So I'm like, okay, whatever. Well, look, here's my 2 weeks. I'm out. So while I'm in Atlanta doing my thing, just networking, linking up with some good people, I get a job offer at V103. This is the Heritage hip hop station in Atlanta. You know, the station that had Cat Williams snapping off on Wanda on the Frank and Wanda morning show, which Wanda's not even there no more. So they're trash too. But anyway, I had a job there, a job offer as a board operator, right? It was easy. All basically, only thing that I had to wait for was the operations manager to get back from vacation. We had already interviewed and everything. She said, I'm about to go on vacation. When I get back, I'm gonna set you up. You'll be ready to go. Told me how much I would make and everything. Word, making way more money than I did in Richmond, right? So during that weekend, a story comes out that I stole the station's Twitter page. Just like how I'm saying with media irresponsibility, printing up a story with no facts or anything, just put me out there like that. Who the fuck would steal a Twitter page? Get the fuck out of here. And when I see Yanni Rude, because that's his name, Yanni O'Donohue, Yanni Rude or whatever, I know O'Donohue's like his real last name. I'm gonna smack the shit out of him, straight like that. And you can tag him in it, and you can say at the 31-minute, 31-second mark, Shaheed say he's gonna smack the shit out of Yanni Rude. I will do that. Don't let how I act at the station confuse you with how I am in real life. Being professional is one thing. Being a nigga is something whole other different. And he ain't never meet a nigga like me. Straight like that. But anyway, going back to media irresponsibility. You put out a story that's damaging. Because what happened to me was when I tried to call back to get the job, lady said, hey, I read about you in the all of the radio station sites. I'm like, look, I don't know what that is, man. Like that's something that's beyond me. Like I don't know anything about that. You know what I mean? I saw the article because, you know what I'm saying, one of my OGs, you know what I'm saying, from the other station in Richmond, you know what I'm saying, sent me the article which had the affidavit and all of that stuff. And I'm like, I don't give a fuck about this shit. I ain't about to do that. I'm gonna set my ass right here in Atlanta. Pull up on me if you want to. Obviously they didn't. And obviously I didn't get, nothing bad happened because I'm still here. I'm not short on money because nothing happened. So that's my whole point of media irresponsibility. You can't put stories out on people. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. I didn't even get a retraction. You can check the US federal website right now. And if I had the case number on hand, I'll give it to you so you can look at it. Case dismissed. Okay, so are we going to do a retraction saying, hey, Radio 1, iPower Richmond lied on Shaheed Shabazz saying that he stole the Twitter page, which court records and documents said that he wasn't found. The cases were dismissed, that there's nothing there, like they were bugging. I know bugging's not going to be the correct term that they would use, but yeah. So, Yanni Rude, I'm going to smack this shit out you when I see you. You know you're not going to come to the 757 because you don't know anybody. I can come to Richmond, and I know where you at. So that's neither here nor there. And you can say at the 33-minute mark and 50-second mark, I threatened him. I did that. Pull up on me. I dare you. This is not a game. So anyway, my whole point in saying all of that is that media irresponsibility is something that we all have to be able to work on. We can't put stories out on people unless we have the full story. Because in the media, our words are powerful. We can influence and we can persuade and we can, it's a word I'm looking for that I can't even, discourage. That's what I was looking for, discourage. We can encourage, we can influence, and we can discourage. We can do all of those things. Like, why do you think now that if a person puts something out and they get a lot of views and likes and all of that stuff, people consider that, oh, that's the truth. That's the gospel right there. Like, that's it. But it can be trash, but everybody likes it, so it's okay. We just got to do better in the media. And I'm not going to rant too much about this just because it's just me. Y'all attention spans is low as a bitch. And I'm tired as hell. But I do want to give a special shout out. I didn't do this earlier because I don't have other people around me. I want to give a shout out to our sponsor. Like, yes, we actually have a sponsor on the show. Y'all didn't know that, did y'all? See, I'm going to need y'all to spend some advertising dollars with me. But if y'all don't, that's cool. Because you know who does spend advertising dollars with me? DoorDash. That's right, DoorDash. You can earn $1,500 for every friend in your area who signs up and completes 150 deliveries within 60 days. Now, the bonuses do differ upon your area. The area where I'm at was giving away $1,500. You know where I'm at? I'm in VA. 757 to be specific. Fuck that RVA shit. Fuck that what you call that? That Northern Virginia, that DMV. Nah, it's all about the 757 when I speak VA. When I say Virginia, just know what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the 757. That's the only part of Virginia that you really need to know about. But anyway, you can set your own hours. You can dash by using a car, bike, or scooter. You can earn money on your own terms. And I'm telling you, it's very, very good money. The link is on my Twitter. Well, not my Twitter, obviously, but the SNF Podcast Twitter, the SNF Podcast Instagram, and the Shaheed and Friends Facebook page. Go on there. Give us a follow while you're there, but go ahead and hit that link and get yourself some money. That's with DoorDash. Shout out our sponsor. Probably should have did that earlier, but I just wanted to get to the shits. But shout out to the sponsor, DoorDash. Go get that money. And go get that food, too. Actually, I got some promotions on that, too, but that's for the next episode. So, if you fat and you like to eat, I suggest you listen to next week's episode. I got some good gifts for you from DoorDash if you fat and like to eat. Now, if you say, what about the skinny people that like to eat? Nah, y'all niggas need to eat. I'm included, but I'm just saying, y'all niggas need to eat. Y'all don't like to eat. Y'all need to. And I have something for you too. Tune in next week. Is there anything else I want to rant about real quick about that? I mean, media responsibility. We have a voice. It's powerful. I'm gonna smack Yanni Rube when I see him. I think I covered that. Yeah, that's pretty much about it. So I'm gonna talk to y'all next week. Same time, you can listen to the SNF podcast on the West Coast, 9 a.m. Get your day started with us. Or if you're on the East Coast, take us with you on your lunch break at 12 p.m. every Tuesday. Normally there's a teaser episode, but since this podcast episode isn't that long, no teaser episode.